All right, I don't know how many people be on here, but we're getting Marco or Laura or one of those coming, and I just wanted to show you, the wind's starting to pick up. I wanted to show you some of the things that we're preparing to make sure that we don't get a whole lot of damage. So the only real thing, the big thing, is put some straps to keep the beehive from flipping over. So hey everybody, got two folks here. I was just talking about we got a storm blowing up. The wind is picking up. It's supposed to be some pretty strong winds, about 10 o'clock maybe. It'll be the worst, and it's from Laura and Marco. I don't know which one. One of those two. Bunch of blowhards. So they're coming in, and I just wanted to show you some of the things that we're doing. So the big thing is, well, I put some. Hey Shanna, how you doing? I put some stakes in the ground there and there, and put a strap over top of the beehive to make sure it doesn't get blown over. Hey Barb, how are you? Hey Deb's Way. Just talking about the storm that's coming in. It's sounds like we might get some strong wind. I'm not sure how much. Hey me Mom Matters, how are you? So this thing I'm kind of worried about. This might blow over, but that's not that big a deal. Of course, all our. Hey Rebecca Nichols. So if the okra blows over, it'll probably be a relief from picking all the okra. Hey Britton Farm Homestead, how are you? Probably can hear the wind blowing. Probably not the greatest sound in the world. Yeah, so we're near Memphis, so it's blowing up. Thank you, Shan. I appreciate it. I think all the critters are good. I did put a couple stakes in the legs. Hey Vera Campbell, how you doing? Put a couple stakes into the garage. Hey Marion, you need any help? Let us know. Put a couple stakes in here to make sure this thing doesn't blow over. Oh, okay. Well, we're not too far from Memphis. We're actually too close to Memphis, if you know what I mean. So we made sure that canopy's all anchored down good. This tarp doesn't matter. Everything else I think is pretty well secure, but hope everybody else is okay. I know some folks in Louisiana, the Broussards. Haven't heard anything from them. I'm hoping that they're okay. Yeah, it's what they say, strong winds. How much? 20 to 25 mile per hour sustained winds and gusts of what? 45? 35. So that's not too bad. Could be a lot worse. So, but we've been sitting outside, and definitely the wind is picking up. You can see it in the trees. Well, that one's really blowing around that much, but you can see those trees blowing. Oh, good. I'm glad they're okay. You know, sometimes on TV and the Weather Channel, they like to sensationalize everything, and the unsurvivable storm surge. Which, I mean, if it was what they were saying, yeah, it'd be pretty rough. But hopefully, everybody got out of there. And, yeah, I'm sure the wind's doing a number on the microphone. But I think that's we got everything kind of battened down. I think we're going to be okay. So all the rabbits are good. Quail are good. Everything else is good. But you can kind of hear it roaring through the trees. And you see the clouds. They're moving kind of quick. Of course, not now. Can't really tell. But they are. Take my word for it. But look at these bushes back here blowing around. They're really whipping around. And so are these over here, this privet. Yeah, we had a storm come in last night, and I don't know if everybody knows Mac and Patty with Southern Bless Homestead, but they got a ton of rain and a ton of wind, and it showed where on the radar that it was supposed to be red coming up across us, and we got nothing. I barely heard it, the raindrops hitting, so we didn't get anything like they did, and they're just half an hour down the road, 45 minutes, something like that. So it's kind of hit or miss sometimes around here. Anyway, probably not going to stay long because I need to get inside and eat some dinner, maybe some quail, some rabbit legs or something like that. We've been busy. But the big thing is I wanted to make sure that the beehive was strapped down and it wouldn't blow over, because they're making good honey for us now, and every morning I check on them. They got tons of pollen that they're taking into the hive. So it's been pretty exciting to watch them. Anyway, anybody got any questions or comments? Appreciate the prayers. Hey, speaking of prayers, I just shared a post from Wing It with Irish Colleen. She's got some eye issues. She had a blood vessel rupture behind her eye and put a lot of pressure on her optic nerve. Hey, Simply Southern Roots. And she lost vision in her left eye, and the pressure is in both eyes, and they're worried about her right eye as well. They think it's reversible. They just got to get that pressure reduced, and she's going to be seeing a retina surgeon, I think, in the next day or two. I'm not sure when, but watch her video, Winging It with Irish Colleen. We need to pray for her. Hey, Real Life with Michelle and Rob, how you doing? Hey, let me show you our loofah, Michelle. Our loofah is giant, and no, I'm not going to eat our loofah. That doesn't, I mean, I'm sure it was good, but I don't, no. It's a sponge. I'm not going to eat a sponge. All right, so let me flip the camera around. I can do that on this thing. Woohoo! Here's our first loofah. Give you perspective. So it's pretty good size. We got another one that size here. Two more growing there. This one's giant. There's one. And if we come all the way, I don't know if I saw that one there. There's one down there. We got one that just started. And then we got the three sisters over here all growing together. That's kind of cool. But our garden is slowly falling away. So we still got a lot of tomatoes, especially the cherry tomatoes. We still got another one of those pumpkins there. So we got to do that pretty soon. We got a little watermelon in there. I don't know if you can see that. There's a little watermelon right there. Big old pumpkin. So it's coming along. There's a lot going on in our garden. It looks kind of like a mess. Everything's kind of overgrown. And I think next year what we'll do is these viney things, these cantaloupes and stuff like that grow everywhere, and that's sweet potato. We'll probably put a couple more raised beds and get them outside of this fenced in area and let them go crazy, do whatever they want to do. So that's what I'm concerned about, is that tarp, that canopy there, and that covering for our rabbits. That's our two biggest things. And like I said, I anchored the garage in a box where our rabbits are. Sorry, had to sneeze. I drove a couple stakes in the legs of that to help secure that, and that other canopy has stakes in the ground with. Excuse me. Whew. Hey, Simply Jan, thank you. Appreciate it. Really appreciate it. I don't know if everybody understands, but prayers do change things. Prayers make a difference. So while we're out here, so the reason why I'm sneezing, we have the fans in on the rabbits, and the back of the fans were completely coated. Hey, the rainbow. Hey, the Ramos Family Farm. How you doing? Thank you. So anyway, there's all kinds of rabbit fur on the back of those fans. You're probably having a hard time hearing me now because of the wind, and it's really blowing. But look, we got fence. This part of the fence is completely done. This section of fence. How cool is that? Yep, it's gonna storm. It already blew over my gate. I don't have the gate installed yet. And we'll just leave that lay there. But we got this section, all this section of fence stretched too. Yeah, it's almost done. We're so close. Now we're gonna do sheep and goat. It's Stay Tough. I'm gonna have a video soon of this last part where we stretch the fence onto the post. So we got all that back fence and this side fence going up our neighbor's property. So we're getting it. There's just a little section back there that we have to do, and then we got to hang all these gates. So our plan is to get some hair sheep and maybe a miniature cow for dairy. That's kind of our goal. But yeah, it's been a struggle doing it. We actually had the Stay Tough territorial rep come in, and he told us some. I like Stay Tough. It's American made, Texas. There's some other brands out there. I won't mention them. But Stay Tough is probably the most instructional and informational. Yeah, hair sheep, it's like a dog, right? They'll shed in the summer. You don't have to shear them. They're very low maintenance. Yep. So, yeah, so the territorial rep came over, gave us some helpful hints. He saw what we did so far, gave a stamp of approval, so we're doing really good. And that was pretty cool. And that's going to be part of a video that's coming up. It'll probably be uploaded next week, something like that. So that'll be pretty cool. Main path of the storm. I think we're pretty far away from it. I think the eye of that storm is tracking to go up like through Little Rock, and we're near Memphis, so we're like right on the edge of it. All the counties to the west of us, south and northwest, are all under tornado warnings or watches. So I'm trying to read all the stuff. Okay, Arkansas woodcutter. You lost power. Yeah, the wind's starting to blow up pretty good. You can hear that in the sound. I'm sure it's not very good sound, but it is what it is, right? I just wanted to show everybody what we're doing and how we're preparing for this storm. I don't think it's going to be much. Like I said last night, there was an incredible electrical storm that blew up. It was like, I really thought somebody was playing around with a strobe light flashlight outside our bathroom window because it was flashing so much lightning. And it was an electrical storm came through, and it was one that Southern Blessed Homestead, I texted them, asked them if they were okay, because they're like 45 minutes southwest of us. And he said it dumped down rain on them, and it also was pretty strong winds, and he lost a brand new one of those easy up awnings. So but when it came up here, tracking it with the radar, we got nothing. I heard a few drops hit the window. Wind never really picked up. Thank you, Charlotte Meadows, appreciate it. And it wasn't bad at all. Is the wind sound pretty bad? It's probably whipping pretty bad. Can't put a dead cat on my iPhone unless it's a literal dead cat. I don't have any dead cats right now. Well, good. I'm glad it's good. So yeah, we're just trying to anchor everything down, make sure our animals are okay, keep our rabbits covered. Well, good. So yeah, the other day we processed 11 rabbits in about an hour, which was really good. It was just me and Shelly doing it. Uh, Thank you, Spitfire Red. Really appreciate it. Video tomorrow. There'll be a video tomorrow on that. We take you through the whole process of how we process rabbits, um, up to the point of dispatching. Didn't show that. Didn't think YouTube would like it, so didn't do it. But we showed everything else, and like I said, it was like less than 5 minutes a rabbit. So that's we weren't rushing. We were just taking our time. Of course, Shelly does most of the work. For the most part, I dispatch them. And we did like 9 quail and 1 duck. So we took care of a lot of animals yesterday. Well, cool. Have you done them before, Simply Jan? Have you processed rabbits before? I'm assuming you have. It says tornado watch for current location in effect until 9 o'clock. Nice. It's really kicking up. You can hear it roaring through the trees. The neighbor's one big oak tree back there, man, it is just roaring through that. No, it wasn't our old male duck. It was one of the new younger ones. What we found is that older male, he'll beat up those younger males pretty bad. So before he did that, and they were old enough and mature enough, we went ahead and processed them. Okay, thank you for stopping in. Appreciate it. And yeah, so far we're okay. Hopefully we'll keep power because we got the incubator cranking. Oh, so you never done it before? Well, rabbits are a lot easier than chickens. I don't know if you've done chickens or not. But rabbits are so much simpler. He is quite a character, so we couldn't get rid of him if we wanted to. He'll die of old age, I'm sure. But we do have like 3 or 4 females for him now, so he's happier. Cat is climbing in the tree. So what else is going on? Everybody else okay? Yeah. It kind of died down just right now. Yep. Skinning the rabbits is like taking us off a sock. And the domestic rabbits are harder than wild rabbits. Wild rabbits have a much thinner skin to them. You can almost grab their skin and tear it. But these domestic rabbits, their hide's a little tougher, so it takes a little bit more to get them started. You actually have to kind of make cuts in order to get the hide started to get it off of it. But we showed all of it, so Simply Jan, watch that one tomorrow and let me know what you think. It really isn't that hard. Like I said, my wife does all the processing. Rabbit comb feet, I don't think I've ever had that. We grilled a couple that first night. It was really good. Yeah, it's not bad. It's so we're trying to do a whole series on all the basic stuff with rabbits. Right. We showed how to sex them or determine their gender, because sexing them sounds really nasty. And thank you, Barb. But what else do? What you feed your rabbits? We want to do a rabbit breeding video here soon. We did the rabbit processing. It's just, yeah, Simply Jan, they're so much easier than chickens. I hate processing chickens. Chickens take forever. And rabbits are so quick. But we use a BB gun to dispatch. I've got a Remington Airmaster 77. Takes 3 pumps. That's all it takes. And I show you exactly how to do it in the video without actually pulling the trigger. getting really blown around. I'm waiting for the rain to start. So yeah, it's pretty easy. We've tried a bunch of different ways to dispatch that, and that's simply, Chan. That's the hardest part of processing any animal is putting them down. Yeah, look for it tomorrow 7 o'clock. It's we tried the broomstick method. We tried the cervical dislocation using your bare hands. We didn't like the broomstick. I felt like it was hurting them, and the meat was bruised up around the neck when we did it. Yeah, it's okay. All I have to do is just step inside. Yeah, it's not hard. Britain Farm Homestead. It's really not bad. Yeah, I got everything kind of as much as I think we can do it. So hopefully it won't be too bad. It's like gusts of 35 miles an hour, sustained winds of 25. That's really not that bad. Now, if it was like 60 and 70, that'd be different. But I think 35, I'm not too worried about that. So we'll see what happens. Hey, Wall Street Homestead, how you doing? Yeah, so I mean, it even looks like some of it's clearing up back here now. I mean, it looks like some of the clouds and stuff are passing over. A lot of the darker stuff is on overhead that way. Hey, Strategic Self-Reliance, how are you doing? Normal day on the Oregon coast. Yeah, you get a lot of rain, don't you? I've never been there. I would like to see it. I'd like to see. Haven't spent much time on the Pacific coast. You staying out of trouble, Alfred? You getting ready for those quail? We're trying to get you quail. They're still trying to get enough to make it worth your while to come down here and get some. So we keep hatching them. We keep gathering eggs and keep hatching more. So hopefully we'll have some for you for breeders. Yeah, that's what we're doing too, Alfred. We're trying to prepare for the wind and everything. Hey, YT Game Boy 0904. That's a name I hadn't seen before, I don't think. Of course, I might have seen it and I forgot it because I am old. Thanks, Susan Baker. Really appreciate it. Like I said, it was like sustained winds, 20, 25 mile an hour is what they're calling for. Hey, it's Miguel. How you doing, Miguel? Good deal. How's everything in Oklahoma? You guys getting any of the storms? So Miguel is, for some of you guys who have been following us for a while, you know that I work with the Rural Rangers, and I spent a lot of time in Oklahoma at their Junior Leadership Development Academy. And Miguel is one of the boys that I worked with down there. So, a good kid. Of course, you're growing up quick, aren't you, Gil? Well, that's good. I think most of this one is tracking headed up toward Arkansas. Well, he had other guys pouring into his life. I just got to go down there 1 week out of the year, so I can't take too much credit for anything that happened in his life. You take advantage of what you got. Hey, Bob's Adventures on Wheels. Yeah, we're trying to stay out of the wind. Wow, I can't believe it's your senior year already. And a COVID year. What a great time. Senior COVID. All right, Alfred, you be careful. Let us know if you have any trouble, need anything. Yeah, well, thanks, Bob. I really appreciate it. It's really not calling for too much. We're right on the fringe of it, so I don't think it's going to be too bad. They're calling for sustained winds of 20, 25 mile an hour with gusts of 35. So that's really not that bad. Especially any folks on the coast that dealt with hurricanes. I'm sure that's a joke to y'all. It's like, well, we'd go fly a kite in that kind of weather. I grew up in Maryland, and I remember when I was 8 years old going through Agnes that came up the coast and affected us. And so living here in, Bob, I think I need about 1100 something hours. It's really hard to tell because of how YouTube updates it. Um, for like 2879, something like that. So it's 1100 something. We're making progress, but it's taking a while. Yeah, and around here in Memphis area, we get a lot of tornado warnings and stuff, and straight line winds. So a storm will blow through, and it'll be. Thank you, appreciate it, Bob. A tornado warning and stuff, it'll blow through, and it'll come through really quick, and then within an hour, it's over. Damage is done or whatever. But a hurricane, you're sitting there, and it's like a day and a half, 2 days of strong wind just blowing, blowing, blowing. You're like, when is this ever going to stop? And then there's all the flooding that you get after that. Yeah, Central Florida. I bet that's pretty nice in Central Florida. My wife loves the beach, loves the water. She would love to live down next to the ocean. I'm like, no, maybe 4 hours away. Even then, you're not safe from hurricanes. But I would not want to be right on the beach for nothing. That's just me. Hey, Kinfolk Farm of Georgia, how you doing? I saw somebody was asking on YouTube or Facebook. Their pond was full of snapping turtles. They wondered how to get rid of them. It's like, man, need to get. Yep, she is. Thank you, Arkansas Woodcutter. Need to get with you at Kinfolk Farm of Georgia, and you could show them how to get rid of those snapping turtles, and have a feast out of it too. So what's everybody else doing tonight? We're trying to hang on and not get blown away. We had a good week so far. We've had a little issue with work, like it's not cooter soup. We've had a little issue at work. We had some IT problems. I'm not going to go much further into it than that, but basically nothing worked. And so they've been working really hard to prepare to get everything, get all our systems back up. And the folks that are working on it are doing a great job, but it's been all week, and it's been tough. Like it wasn't hard enough to work from home. Then you get system problems, and it's been interesting. We got 18 in the house, 21 likes. Appreciate it. Yeah, I'm going back through some of the comments to see if I missed anything or anybody. It's hard to keep up with everybody when you're using your phone, so it's kind of hard. So the only time I've ever been to the Pacific Coast has been San Diego. I've been to San Diego. Went and ate in the restaurant where Top Gun was filmed. Oh, lumbar fusion. Susan Baker. Make sure you follow the doctor's orders. That is critical for your healing process. You're going to feel a lot better, but don't get up and do stuff. You've got to let that bone grow and fuse up. I used to work for a spinal implant company. I designed and spinal instruments and implants, mostly instruments. I did a lot of specialized instruments, mostly dealing with idiopathic scoliosis. I've got like 9 different patents in the patent office with some of the products that I have. Kind of cool. I got to do a lot of time in the OR with surgeons during live surgery, and idiopathic scoliosis surgery is rough, very rough. So I know a little bit about lumbar fusion, and the big thing is when patients have trouble, it's because they start feeling better, and they're like, well, I can go do whatever I want to do. No, that rod that's in your back is just there for temporary support, until the bone fuses all together. Okay, go eat your mater sandwich. Glad you could stop by, Barb. Yeah, living on the coast has its own problems, I'm sure. Yeah, if I had my choice, I'd be up in the mountain lake resort areas. Cooking supper. What's for supper? Simply Jan. Not rabbit. That'll come later. So the other thing we do with our rabbits, we put them in a cooler with ice and salt water for like 3 days, and then that way the meat will be a lot tender, a lot more tender. It gets that rigor mortis out of it and lets it relax, chill it out. So that's something you want to keep in mind. We've got rabbits in there now that are in the cooler that we'll have to do something with soon. Ducks are in their little kiddie pool. Yeah, that's a little bit different. The turkey's already been dead for a while, but when you freshly kill something, so the salt will help draw out any more blood out of the carcass, and that's important. But the ice water, keep it nice and cool. If you had a walk-in cooler, it'd be better to hang it and not have the water in it. Just like aged beef, right? It's hung and aged for however long. The longer the better. It allows the enzymes and everything to. I don't have baby ducks. We're working on baby ducks, but the enzymes in the meat will start breaking down, and it'll cause the meat to be a lot more tender. Yeah, you want everything to start breaking down a little bit to become more tender. If you wait like a day and just had it in the refrigerator, it could be really tough and chewy. Chickens especially, we had a lot of trouble with chickens when we first did them, and then we started doing the ice bath for like 2 or 3 days. Made a huge difference on how tender they are. But we did, when we processed some rabbits the other night, we did throw a couple of the little ones straight onto the grill, and that was really good. And that's what I'm going to go eat after I get done talking with you guys. So we did a bunch of quail, a bunch of rabbits, and a duck. Kinfolk Farm of Georgia, we dry plucked our duck. Hey, Charlotte Meadows. Glad to have you. Yeah, it's yummy. I'm just sitting out here in the wind. Thankfully, it's no rain. I don't know if Kinfolk Farm of Georgia is still here or not. If you haven't checked out his channel, go check him out. He's a great guy. Love his accent. He's a good fella. Yeah, ours wasn't too bad. I mean, like I said, we dry plucked it. We didn't scald it or nothing. We dry plucked it, and it wasn't too bad. So that's we just had one, so it wasn't that big a deal. We didn't want to skin it. We wanted to keep the skin on it. So if we had a bunch of them, we'd have to do something. But anyway, what else is going on down there? Are you having any effects of the storm there, Kinfolk Farm of Georgia? All right, Jan. Thank you. Appreciate it. Enjoy your pizza and mac and cheese. Have a great evening. Yeah. If you had a bunch, we just had the one. We had to get rid of a male. He was getting of age, and our older male was not wanting anything to do with it. Well, that's good. Yeah, we were just doing a quick live stream just to show some of the precautions we had, because the wind's supposed to kick up a little bit. Good night, Susan Baker. Go lay down. Take it easy on that back. Make sure it heals up good. Yeah, you can see the wind's blowing. Hey, from Zero to Homestead. Night, Meemaw. Have a great evening. How are you, Zero to Homestead? I'm trying to help a guy in Michigan start up his YouTube channel. I was his first subscriber. It's kind of cool. His channel name, you can't find it. You can't search for it. It's DJ plus 3 Outdoors. So his name is Devin. His wife's name is Jennifer, and they got 3 kids. So he's going to do a lot of homesteading stuff. They have a lot of birds. They have tons of ducks and chickens. The salt does somewhat, but it's mostly for drawing out the blood. We always did that with wild game that we killed because, with domestic stuff, you're going to do things to drain the blood out of it. And then you got so you don't have as much blood in it anyway. But if you're going out shooting rabbits, it's going to be a while before you start processing it, and that blood coagulates inside the meat, and it always helps to draw the blood out with the salt. You can see the trees are blowing a little bit. I don't have the nice rocking chair in the front porch like you have there down in Georgia. I always like watching you guys sitting on the front porch or on the porch with the rocking chairs. Like, man, that's nice. I just got to notice that my battery is about to die, so I think we're gonna call it a night. And really appreciate everybody stopping by, checking it out. Hope you all have a good evening, and don't forget, his way is the best way. We'll see you next time. God bless.